just to start off with the crime segment of this, there were, again, as I mentioned, a few questions related to crime. The first one started with just how, I guess you could generally say, how people felt about the level of crime in New Mexico. What were the results that you guys saw there?
Well, it was concerning to see the level of crime being reported by respondents. Nearly two-thirds, 66%, said that they think crime has increased in the last year, and really only 6% think it's decreased. So nearly 94% of people think it's either the same or gotten worse, and that's a big concern for obviously everybody's safety.
And not to drill too much into the weeds, of course, but one of the big things that's happening here is a change to how criminals are detained ahead of trial in New Mexico. Very simply put, we called it the pre-trial detention policy a lot here on our news, and I understand you guys ask questions as well about the pre-trial detention policy. Can you tell me what were the results that you found related to when asking people about the pre-trial detention policy?
So, Chris, as you mentioned, pretrial detention, we're getting a little bit into the weeds, and we saw that almost a third of voters did not know about this policy. But of the 70% or so that knew about the policy, they were so against it. They were saying that it's increasing crime and not decreasing it. It was 40 to 5%. And so that's a concern as far as a policy standpoint of if these detentions are working. And according to the voters, they don't think they are.
And as well, voters were asked if they have been a victim of crime or maybe know somebody who's been a victim of crime. This, when you look at the numbers there, it is, I think, pretty astonishing. It seems crime has touched more than half of the respondents, it seems. Can you give me
Not only has crime touched over half of the respondents, but nearly 1 in 6 say that they've been a victim of either a home break-in or a car break-in. That seems to be a very high number.
So crime, with all of that in mind, I suppose to ask you the high level question. I know, you're from afar looking at the data though, but you're asking people and putting it all together. But, would it be fair to say that people seemingly based on the results we're seeing here are convinced that crime is a problem in New Mexico?
Yeah, I would say that they see crime as a problem, but it's secondary still to the economy. And so when we ask people what's their most important issue, 35% say the economy, 10, 11% say crime. So we know that still economic conditions, but underlying that, we see this as percolating. It's something that the candidates are obviously going to have to address for the voters.
Absolutely.